I said sit down and shut up.
That's right. Sit down and shut the fuck up. You're listening to us, Deviants. We're in control now, right? We're in charge.
I feel in charge.
You feel in charge? You feeling in
Yeah,
control?
This is
all right.
Feeling good.
Feeling good. Welcome to episode 5. Joe Mancini's lucky number 2. Apparently.
Yes.
So hopefully this is going to be
this is
the
gonna
episode.
Be a great one.
This is the episode to end all episodes. This is the episode that will like open the gate, the portal
Exactly.
that will bring about the apocalypse.
Yeah.
Right. It's episode
The
5.
heaven's gate, as it were.
As it were. Yes. So yes, welcome to episode 5 of the Deviant podcast. My name is Joseph Bodie, here with my co-host, cohort, and partner in crime, Joe Mancini.
Joe Mancini, welcome to my lucky number 5.
His lucky number 5, exactly. For those of you, like, if you tuned in before, if you listened to the other 4 episodes, you can skip ahead about a minute, maybe. I'm not going to take too long doing this. For those of you that are new, a little bit about Deviant Podcasts. This is a podcast that we like to say we're trying to get the slogan up and going. It's gonna be huge. It's gonna be big. It's gonna be on T-shirts and hats, baby bibs, baby formulas. I don't know why I want it on baby shit, but I do. I want to get the kids young.
Start
like
them young, yeah.
Yeah, like religion, right? I just want to get them young. Yeah. So
Little deviant bastards.
Little deviant assholes. So it's a podcast that's born of a bar. Joe and I, when Joe used to live in San Francisco with me, he's moved down to LA now. He's a fucking sellout. But we try not to hold that against him. Try not to. But it's born of a bar. It's born of conversations we had in bars. We had great conversations. We felt like we had interesting insights into issues and the current things going on. So that's what this podcast is about. It's about our opinions being put out to the world and hopefully, like, rebutted and debated, right? So the DB podcast, like I said, born of a bar, born of bar conversations, and
definitely the need for just rationality and
absolutely
honest conversation.
Yeah, we like to think of Deviant Podcast as the opening statement of one side of a debate. If there's 2 people, there's always 2 people in a debate, proper form. We're one side of it, and we want you, our listeners, to be the other side, to be the response to that, right? So we want to put out the opening statement in the debate. We want to put out our opinions, our arguments, and then we want to have you guys respond. The other motto, the other slogan that's going to be on shirts and hats and baby bibs and diapers. It's coming. The absolute end all be all, only thing that we give a fuck about is cogency. So our model is cogency is the only currency. We don't care about political trending, social justice trending, social media trending in terms of arguments or positions. We don't care. We care about the cogency of the argument. We care about the rationale. That's it. That's the end all be all. Cogency. Yeah. Go cogency. Which is like the worst. It's like a really minor league British soccer team. Go cogency.
Go cogency. Yeah.
Go cogency. Go cogents.
Oddly enough, a word I never really used up until Joe brought it up for our slogan, and it's a fucking great slogan, I have to say. Cogency is the only currency. Yeah.
Cogency is the only currency. That's the only thing we give a fuck about. And lastly, before we get into the episode, the very last thing I want to say is we used to have a disclaimer. It was very long. It was very long-winded. It was very stupid. Our new disclaimer that I feel like, Joe, you've come to embrace this. You like my new disclaimer, right?
Of course. Yeah, I'm with it.
Yeah. New disclaimer is fuck disclaimers. There you go. Fuck it. Fuck disclaimers. Look, we're not going to O'Reilly factor you. We're not going to Fox News you. We're not going to sensationalize stuff. If people want to come on and have debates, we want our audience and our listeners to debate us in a calm and rational way. That's one thing we can promise you. We will always do that. But above and beyond that, this is not a safe space. Fuck your trigger warnings. Fuck your safe space. Fuck your disclaimers. That's not what we're doing here at Deviant Podcast. We're speaking our fucking mind, and we want you to do the same. And we will respect you for speaking your mind. Right? So, that's us in a nutshell. Born of a bar. Cogency is the only currency. Fuck disclaimers. This is not a safe space. If you don't like it, fuck off. There's a plethora of podcasts you can listen to. There's so many other people you can listen to. So many. We hope you stick with us. We're gonna make it worth your while. We definitely will. That being said, let's move on into episode 5. Joe's lucky number. It's gonna be the best one ever. Let's go.
I think it's definitely going to be the best one ever. Tonight we're talking about the Oscars 2018. They're coming up very shortly.
Very shortly, yeah.
Like a pre-Oscar guide.
Yeah. March 4th, right?
March 4th, yep.
March 4th, the Oscars are coming up, yeah. Oh, let's talk about this shit show that is the Oscars.
Where do I start? So full disclaimer, I never fucking watch the Oscars. Well, I don't want to say never, but I rarely watch them. I just, I'm going to set the tone for this right off the bat. There's going to be no conceit here. The Oscars are fucking stupid. First of all, I live
Joe
in Los
Mancini
Angeles.
has stated his position unequivocally.
Yeah.
Right in the beginning.
I'm here on the ground floor. I semi-work in the industry, though not in film. I hate the Oscars. They're just such a fucking circle jerk.
I'm not far behind you.
I actually think they invented the circle. I think when the word circle jerk was invented and they were like, the concept, the imagery for this concept was being created, and they were like, what's a circle jerk? The Oscars were at the forefront of just circle jerkage.
How to properly circle jerk.
Yeah.
It's a very self-congratulatory thing. It's a very insular community. Yeah, it's a very fucking self-congratulatory thing. Yeah.
It is. Just the whole idea of it's almost embarrassing. It's like a secondhand embarrassment thing where you're like, oh God, these people are all getting together to pat each other on the back for acting in fucking movies.
Yeah.
Whatever. But nevertheless, they exist. They're happening, and we're here to talk about them.
And we're here to talk about it because it's a thing. It's a thing that you people seem to care about, right? Hopefully exactly. In a deviant way. Hopefully you have our anger and angst about it as well. But it's a thing that fucking morons seem to fucking care about.
I think so. Hey,
we've gotten ahead of ourselves. That was supposed to be the third act of the episode. God damn it. We've let in with that.
Well, I wasn't going to make that a secret this whole time. I mean, I still want to talk. Hey, I like movies. I liked a lot of these movies.
I love movies. Yeah.
I think there were some good nominations, and we can get into why we're not fans of the Oscars later, but I wasn't going to be able to keep that a secret for
okay. Well, so spoiler alert, both Joes, Joe Mancini and Joe Bodie, both fucking think the Oscars are bullshit. It's a self-congratulatory circle jerk. It's a masturbatory fucking thing that Hollywood does to congratulate itself for being great. And it's a bunch of fucking millionaires saying, "Hey, I need more recognition. I need another. I need more. I need more." And it's fucking stupid. And there are a bunch of actors, and it's a bunch of actors and actresses acting. All the coverage, all the Oscar coverage, they're still in actor mode.
Exactly.
They're still not being themselves. The red carpet interviews, before interviews, pre-awards, post-awards, they're still acting. That's what bugs me. You don't even get to, on the one night where their community comes to celebrate the things that like the best of their community has done, and they're still insincere. They still can't be human beings, you know.
And part of the reason they can't be is what we're going to talk about later. There's a
Is
very
what we're going to
specific
talk
reason.
about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I won't spoil that. But.
All right, so we've kind of put the cart before the horse. We've kind of, or we like we sort of explained the magic trick before we did the magic trick.
Yeah.
Right? We sort of said fuck the you know. Anyways, stick with us. Still going to be good. All right, so let's talk about the Oscars this year. The nominees. Let's go through. Let's do a proper Oscar episode.
Yeah.
At least, even though it's total fucking bullshit.
Hey,
even though we're calling sleight of hand on it, and we're calling everything else.
I'm still enthusiastic about talking about it. I just
yeah, me too.
Just because I don't like the act doesn't mean there's not some good material. There's actually some really good movies for the 90th Oscars, the 90th anniversary. Where are we going to start? Should we just list out what's
Let's start with Best Picture.
Best Picture.
Let's go with Best Picture. Yeah. Start with that.
So for Best Picture, we have Call Me by Your Name, The Darkest Hour, Dunkirk, Get Out, Lady Bird, Phantom Thread, The Post, Shape of Water, and 3 Billboards Outside of Ebbing, Montana.
Oh, Ebbing, Missouri.
Shit. I was just about to ask if I fucked that up.
And you did. You had one job, Joe. You had one job.
On my notes, I wrote 3 Billboards, so that didn't really help me.
I mean, you knew it was an M. You got the M right.
Got the M right.
You got the M right.
3 Billboards Outside of Ebbing, Missouri.
So who do you like for this? Who do you think deserves Best Picture?
Well,
and who do you think is a bullshit nomination?
So full disclosure, I haven't seen. Well, I haven't even. I think I've maybe seen half these movies. And I'm just gonna go ahead and, again, full disclosure, I'm a very close-minded movie goer. So it means when I get something in my head like this is a stupid movie, even if I'm wrong, I believe it. Then I see it, and I gotta say, a lot of the time, I'm like, I'm fucking close-minded. That was a good movie. But point being, some of these I'm just like.
At least you admit you're wrong. Like,
yeah, I could be wrong.
You can change your mind. At least you admit that. Yeah.
Darkest Hour. Not a huge Winston Churchill guy. Maybe I'll see it someday. Phantom Thread. Don't know what that's about. The Post. I really did want to see. Shape of Water. Don't know what that's about. Really. I mean, I do, but I don't fucking get it. It seems weird. And 3 Billboards looks good. So, what do I like for this? I've seen Get Out. I really like Lady Bird. Haven't seen some of the others. The Post looks really good, and Lady Bird was really good. So those are, and 3 Billboards, that looks really good. So those are my top 3.
Okay. What
do you think?
I think Phantom Thread is. I haven't seen it. I've been trying to. I was trying to watch as many of these as possible before the podcast. But I will say, Paul Thomas Anderson is a fucking, Oscar. That guy just like bleeds Oscars. You know what I mean? Like every Boogie Nights.
Yeah. There
Will Be Blood. Like he's an Oscar. He's the Floyd Mayweather of Oscars.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like that guy punches people out. So I wouldn't be surprised if that won. If that got Best Picture.
You're right.
I wouldn't be surprised. I don't think I love 3 Billboards. I really loved it a lot. I don't think it deserves Best Picture. Shape of Water. I love Guillermo del Toro. I love everything. Like he knows what the fuck he's doing as a director. He's really, really good. Cinematography and like his like scene composition. Like he's very, very like cognizant of like rhyming stuff. He wants to rhyme colors and geometric shapes and scenes. So he's a really good I mean, you watch. Jesus Christ. You watch his other movies. You watch Pan's Labyrinth. You watch Pan's Labyrinth.
Oh yeah, yeah. That was a
He's
really
such
good
a fantastic, like craft wise. The guy's amazing. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if that took it.
I think you're right. I think I went for more opinion based versus what you're saying is more likely. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just trying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Get Out deserves Best Picture. And I know, and that's the thing. That's on a lot of people's best like wish list sort of shit.
Mm-hmm.
They want to see Get Out win. They want to see Get Out sweep the nominations.
I want to talk about Get Out after we discuss more of these
we will.
Yeah, I want to go into this because I think we both have fairly strong opinions on this.
And after the Golden Globes, people were mad and indignant that Get Out, they felt it didn't get the respect that it deserved. It deserves a lot of respect. It does not deserve Best Picture.
Mm-hmm.
Plain and simple. It does not. I don't think it is. Honestly, I think probably my pick for Best Picture would be Darkest Hour, Phantom Thread, maybe Shape of Water. Maybe. For Best Picture.
Yeah.
I love Three Billboards, but I don't think it deserves Best Picture. Just like I'm trying, like I'm being just not to come out not only I'm not trying to not sound biased, but I don't think Get Out deserves it, and I don't think Three Billboards deserves Best Picture either. Mm-hmm. I love that movie, but it does not deserve Best Picture.
So this is something I want to deconstruct, and we can move on with the categories now and talk about it later. But this idea of like, it's almost like you're separating what you really liked versus what you think does. I'd like to know this distinction, like between if you loved a movie but you don't think it deserves Best Picture. I'd like to know that distinction.
Yeah, and that's an important distinction that I think a lot of people are missing. Is a lot of people are like, oh, I love this movie. It was a great movie, and they think it deserves like the highest award in that field.
Mm-hmm.
But not necessarily. You have to look at I think you have to look at like what deserves Best Picture is something that has best writing, best acting, the total package, the total fucking package. There's a lot of good things about Get Out. There's a lot of bullshit things about Get Out. There's a lot of great things about Three Billboards. There's a lot of bullshit things about Three Billboards. So it doesn't deserve the Best Picture thing because you have to look at it as a total package.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I definitely hear that. It's kind of like, it's like a Beatles argument for me. I'm a very subjective art consumer. So for me, it's like, if I like something, that's the way it is, And I'll often hear people talk about like, well, the Beatles aren't my favorite, but they're the best band. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, if they're not your favorite, they're not then
they're not the best band.
I have a hard time factoring in these like, well, they had the most, but in the 60s, they had the most successful albums and they had the biggest growth in a short amount of time, blah, blah, blah. And they ended at the right time. And there's all these things people consider. And I'm like, I don't fucking care. I either like them or I don't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm very subjective. So I see where you're coming from. I just have a hard time with it sometimes to separate my subjective experience and incorporate and try to factor in all these other things. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and again, I think with the highest award you can in the land for this kind of, for whatever, Nobel Prize, Pulitzer Prize, Oscars, whatever, you got to factor in like a lot more than just like, oh, I subjectively love this movie more than this other one. But that doesn't really matter. You got to look at the whole craft of it. And that's why I think for Best Picture, it's really, you have to look at the whole, you have to look at it holistically.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and move. Let's move. So again, we've given our picks for Best Picture.
I really wish I had seen more of them, but as it is,
I do too. But like Amazon, like there was just bullshit going on. Like, wouldn't we could watch the movies like? But it would have been after this podcast.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's what it came down to for me. I tried to squeeze as many as I could in, but
Yeah.
what should we go to? Best actor?
Best actor. Yeah, let's do best actor next.
All right. Best actor in a leading role. I'm going to totally fuck this guy's name up. Timothy Chalamet, Call Me By Your Name.
Uh-huh.
Daniel Day-Lewis for Phantom Thread.
Yep.
Daniel Kaluuya for Get Out.
Yeah.
Gary Oldman for Darkest Hour. And Denzel Washington for Roman J. Israel Esquire.
Yeah.
This should be a little easier to distill it.
So who do you like for this? I've got very strong opinions on this one, or not very strong opinions, but I've got good choices, I think.
So again, I didn't see a few of these, but Daniel Day-Lewis, like we already know that, and I have a hard time with this too. It's like, yes, he's a great actor. Does that mean I want him to win? I don't know. I haven't seen the movie. I'd probably have to go with, just based off my own experience, Timothy Chalamet for Call Me By Your Name.
Really? Okay. Wow.
Just because I'm an underdog guy, and like he did a really good job, and I've never fucking seen him before, so that's always impressive to me. Where you're like,
yeah,
this guy's amazing. Didn't know he existed. I don't know.
I would go with Daniel Day-Lewis.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to go with Gary Oldman. Gary Oldman kills it in everything he does, man. From like The Fifth Element on, like that guy is a brilliant fucking actor. He's brilliant. Sure. He takes on the roles. And Darkest Hour was a great movie, and he was a great performance. I feel like Daniel Day-Lewis is going to get it though.
I think you're right. Yeah.
I feel like he's going to get it because he has announced, like, that's the last movie he's ever doing.
Yeah.
He announced his retirement. So for no other reason than that, I feel like he's probably going to get the award. Again, the political aspect of it.
What a cheap way to get it. Just retire every time before the before the award shows.
Right. Just always say it's your last one.
Yeah. Everyone wants to see the last tour,
Right. I think Gary Oldman would be a strong fucking contender for this, though.
Yeah, I think you're right.
He's an amazing actor.
Yeah,
he's so good, dude.
I wouldn't be, if he got it, that makes sense. If Daniel Day-Lewis got it, I'm not saying it wouldn't make sense. It's just like, it's one of those deja vu things. It's like, what fucking year is this? It's like he gets it every time. So.
Because he's so fucking good.
I know.
Like, if you're that good, you get it, dude. Like,
yeah. I haven't seen the movie, so it's hard for me.
I haven't either. I don't know if he killed it in Phantom Thread. I'm just saying, I feel like if Phantom Thread is the last movie he's going to act in ever, and he's retiring from acting, then the Academy's probably going to sort of like give him a layup for this.
Do you ever see? It's hard. This is a tough one for me. Do you ever what's the distinction made between the role and the acting? Because sometimes it's like, that guy did a great job. I just didn't give a shit about that role, and that's not really on them. That's always a tough one for me.
That's a good point too. Yeah. I mean, they work with what they're given, right?
Right.
I mean, they work with the character that it's written, and maybe they nail that character, but the character doesn't resonate, or the film didn't resonate.
Yeah, or it's a bad idea or boring. Let's say it's a boring movie, but they fucking killed the acting. Like, they did a great job. That's a tough one for me, because that happens.
I always think of good to that end. I always think of Along Came Polly, and that movie did nothing. I really didn't. It's not a great movie.
No,
I know a lot of people like it. It's fucking stupid. But Philip Seymour Hoffman is amazing in it.
Yeah.
Make it rain.
Yeah,
make it rain. He made that movie. True. You know what I mean? Like, and he
totally
had
forgot
a
about
bullshit character and a bullshit script, but he fucking nailed it. So
yeah.
Like,
That's like the
guess that's
total
kind of-
extreme of what I'm talking about.
I guess it's kind of like the opposite of what you're talking about, right? Yeah, because he made it work. Like he made it work in that.
Well, yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah.
yeah.
But I mean, I guess Lincoln would be a good example of this. Now, don't get me wrong. I liked that movie, but like, what if you're just not that in? You're like, this is boring. Like, I don't really care that much about Lincoln or this point of U.S. history. But he did a fucking great job. It's like it's hard to know where to land on something like that.
Yeah. I mean, I think you have to. Well, and it depends on like what the movie and what the actor's up for. Like, if it's up for Best Picture, like no, Lincoln sucked. Lincoln was a boring movie.
Mm-hmm.
Daniel Day-Lewis did do a great fucking job. He killed it in that.
Yeah.
He deserves recognition for his role in that movie, but the movie, let's not act like it was better than it was.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, God, that movie sucked.
I mean, when I say I like it, I mean I didn't like it. I watched it, liked it, fine, whatever. Walked out, and but yeah, it was definitely a little boring.
Yeah. I mean, like again, Daniel Day-Lewis's performance is going to carry you throughout that. Like you're going to be captivated by him. Like that's what he does, you know. And that's why I think he's going to sweep a lot of this role. I think Daniel Day-Lewis and Paul Thomas Anderson are going to sweep a lot of the Oscars, and should sweep a lot of the Oscars. Because he's a great actor. He's an amazing actor. He's that charismatic. He's that captivating. Even if the movie sucks, you keep watching because you're captivated by his performance. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Paul Thomas Anderson, even on his worst day, is one of the best directors alive. You know, I mean, the guy knows what he's doing, and he usually sweeps award ceremonies.
Yeah, for
usually.
sure.
So, all right. So best actor, I got Daniel Day-Lewis and Darkest Hour, and Gary Oldman, Darkest Hour. I think. So we can go on to best supporting actor. I think this is the more interesting category. I really
this is actually. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. We have Willem Dafoe for The Florida Project.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't know what this was. Never heard of it till just right now. So, that's where I'm coming from.
It was an indie darling. That's a movie that was.
Okay.
Critics loved it. It was the same guy. I think it's by the same guy that directed Tangerine, the movie that was filmed on an iPhone about.
Right.
Yeah. That was a great movie, by the way. It was a great.
I haven't seen that either. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, so Willem Dafoe, Florida Project.
Yeah, Woody Harrelson for 3 Billboards. Richard Jenkins for The Shape of Water. Christopher Plummer for All the Money in the World, and Sam Rockwell for 3 Billboards again.
I got to go with either Woody Harrelson or Sam Rockwell, man. That's my picks.
Yeah, I wish I had that perspective. Again, I really want to see this movie.
You haven't seen it, dude. No. Like they kill it. It's so good. Yeah,
I really wish I had watched it. I almost did, but ran out of time. I did see All the Money in the World, and I don't know if the idea is to fucking hate the guy, then Christopher Plummer nailed it. But I don't know if it's like I don't know if it's an Oscar worthy performance.
Yeah. I got to go Woody Harrelson and or Sam Rockwell. I think I think that's where 3 Billboards really wins. It's the supporting cast.
Okay.
I don't think 3 Billboards doesn't win in Best Picture or Best Cinematography or Best Screenplay, or even Best Actress. But I think it wins in Best Supporting Cast. I think that's where
I love Woody Harrelson, so I'm really rooting for that one strong.
I love Woody Harrelson and Sam Rockwell. I love both of those guys. Like they're always good, right?
Yeah.
They always go like 110%. They always fucking.
I don't think Sam Rockwell's a weird one for me.
Really? I love that.
I'm not saying I don't like him. I don't know what else he's in. And I had this This happened to me once before.
So much shit.
I know. I have had the same thing happen with my friend's sister. We're talking, and she talks about Sam Rockwell, and I was like, I couldn't tell you a single thing that guy's in. And she was almost mad at me. She was like, "What the fuck? He's been."
I'm mad at you right now. Yeah,
I was like, "What the?"
I'm mad.
I can't think of one thing he's been in that I can remember him in.
But you can't. But when she rattled off everything he's been in, did it you're like, oh yeah, shit. I mean,
I don't remember what she said. I'd have to look at. I'm gonna look at his IMDb.
You should, dude. The guy's been in so much stuff. He's so good. He was in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, Charlie's Angels, Iron Man. He's been in a bunch of the indie movie Moon. If you
I'm
haven't
looking at
seen
that. I didn't see that.
You have to watch that.
I didn't see any of these.
He fucking kills it. He's been in so much stuff, dude. So many things. He's always good.
Galaxy Quest.
Yeah. The guy's been in a fucking lot of shit. So anyway, I think Best Supporting Actor is where Three Billboards. That's where Three Billboards will shine. Is Best Supporting Actor. I think so.
That's good. It should
I
shine
don't think it does. I think that's where. I think that's where it deserves. It deserves those awards. I don't think it deserves Best Picture, but Supporting Actor, I think so. Yeah, especially I think Sam Rockwell maybe, but I think Woody Harrelson deserves that.
I'd be pretty stoked if Woody Harrelson won that.
You gotta love that guy, man.
I really love the guy.
You gotta love him. Woody from Cheers, dude. You gotta love that guy.
I don't know why I feel so strongly about a movie I haven't seen yet. It's just right. It's a movie I know I'd like. I just haven't watched it yet.
Oh, it's great. It's great. It got a lot of there's a lot of backlash for it in the movie critic circle, and I didn't understand. But I think
why? Just
I don't want to wait. Well, let's move on with the Oscars.
Okay.
It's gonna derail us too much.
All right.
There might be a whole nother Deviant podcast about that, but
okay. What are we going to?
That's a good idea. All right, let's go to Best Actress. Best Actress.
All right, Sally Hawkins in The Shape of Water. Frances McDormand in Three Billboards. Margot, is it Robbie or Margot Robbie? Yeah,
it's Robbie, right? Yeah.
Margot Robbie for I, Tonya. And I can't say this girl's name, and I don't even feel bad because it's such a fucking stupid name. But whatever, Saoirse Ronan for Lady Bird.
Yeah, I didn't know how to pronounce that first name either.
It's a name that's so silly, it just makes me angry. That how do you expect people to try to
Sauron? Let's call her Sauron from Lord of the Rings.
Yes, Sauron Ronan.
Sauron Ronan. That's your new name.
From Lady Bird, and then Meryl Streep from The Post.
And if you want to be mad at two lowly podcast guys when you're
go for it,
go fucking go for it. Yeah, Sauron.
Have at it, Sauron.
Have at it, Sauron Ronan. Go for it. Fuck you and your weird name. And Meryl Streep in The Post, right? This is a tough one, man. I fucking love Frances McDormand.
Me too, man. Oh my god.
And I don't think she deserves it. And
I wish I could be on the same.
It pains me to say that, but I don't think, not for this role. She doesn't deserve it for this. Not for Three Billboards. She killed it. She fucking killed that role for sure. But it was a one-note character, right? She was just angry the whole time. There wasn't a lot of. I feel like it was a very easy character for her to play. She's such a talented actress. She has such range. It's a very easy role for her to play. It was a one-note angry woman, and there was very little dynamic to that character. She didn't have to break down and cry. She just had to be angry. And she fucking nailed it. But I don't think she deserves the Oscar for it. And it kills me to say that. Because I love that. I love that woman and I love that movie.
I think you're being fair.
If anybody, I'm gonna go with Meryl Streep, man. You cannot fuck with Meryl Streep.
Yeah. I want to see, again, I really want to see The Post, and I haven't. Meryl Streep's another one where it's like, not underdog enough for me. She's probably great. I don't know.
Yeah. I haven't seen the post either. I'm just going with Meryl Streep and her acting chops, and I think, like, just fucking Meryl Streep probably killed it. I'm 100% confident Meryl Streep fucking killed it.
Probably. So when we get to Best Supporting Actress, this is going to be interesting to talk about because I did see
that's the one. Yeah.
I saw I, Tanya,
Okay.
and I don't think Margot Robbie's going to, whatever. It was fine. And I definitely don't think Sauron's getting it. I mean, that was and Lady Bird is something I want to talk about more when we're at the end of this. Lady Bird I fucking loved. It was a great movie. I love Greta Gerwig. I just don't think this girl, she did a good job. I just Oscar worthy. That's tough to say.
I think in Best Actress it's between Meryl Streep and Sally Hawkins.
I can see that. I
think it's between those two, because Sally Hawkins pulled off a completely silent performance. Her character is, a deaf woman, and it's all nuanced. Right?
Okay,
so I think it's between those two for me for Best Actress.
I'm rooting for her.
I'm rooting for Sally Hawkins too. Yeah. So I think Meryl Streep's like the obvious. If you're gonna
exactly for sure
it in, she gets it. But I think Sally Hawkins did a fucking such a nuance, such a subtle performance, such a fucking emotive performance. She did so much with so little.
Yeah,
and that's an amazing that's what you want from a Oscar level performance, right?
Exactly.
All right, so Best Supporting Actress.
Okay, so I'm excited to talk about this.
Me too.
I'm excited about this because I've seen more of these movies than I have in the other categories, and I feel stronger about them. So we have Mary J. Blige for Mudbound. We have Allison Janney for I, Tanya. We have Leslie Manville for Phantom Thread, Laurie Metcalf for Lady Bird, and Octavia Spencer for The Shape of Water.
Okay, I want to pause real quick. I'm going to show my ignorance. I'm going to be a little dumb and drunk here.
Okay.
Laurie Metcalf? That's from fucking Roseanne, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I almost just want to give it to her, no matter what, because
this is why I'm saying this category is more interesting.
Roseanne's sister, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I love. She
did a fucking great job.
She's a great actress.
Oh, she was incredible in this movie. I fucking loved this movie. Again, I'll probably say some more about that later.
I have not seen it. I just saw the nomination when I was scrolling through before, we did the episode. I was like, Laurie Metcalf. I had to scratch my beard, and I was like, that's Roseanne's sister, right?
Exactly.
And she's fucking great, dude.
She's money, man.
She's so underrated. She is underrated. She kills it in everything she does.
And now that we're raving about her,
shit, apparently too. She's gay.
Now
that's neither here nor there, but
but it's funny nonetheless.
But she's a huge psych. But whatever. I love her. She's fucking awesome.
So my first pick was Allison Janney, and now that we're raving about Laurie Metcalf, I almost want to say her. This is a really hard one for me because I, Tanya was just okay to good. It was a good movie, and Allison Janney is a fucking great actress. I didn't know that if the movie gave that much. I think the movie did some disservices to her, whereas I think in Lady Bird, Laurie Metcalf was really, really fucking good.
Yeah.
Frustrating and just
I want Laurie Metcalf to get it because I think she's had a decades-long career being an actress on TV shows, and she's always sort of a secondary character, side character, and she's made a career. I'm sure she has a good life. I'm sure she's got a lot of money in the bank,
Oh yeah.
But I would love to see her get the fucking recognition she deserves.
I feel the same way about Allison Janney. I think she's done some great fucking work.
Oh, that's true too. Yeah.
I just don't know if this. I don't know if this movie is the one. I don't know, man. It's tough. She had a great role in this movie. The one
person that does not deserve it is Mary J. Blige.
I think we both. Yeah.
The one person that does not. If Mary J. Blige gets the award for Best Supporting Actress, that will solidify. That will just fucking like solidify, like codify, like in stone, like that the Oscars are as political as we think they are. I watched Mudbound.
Me too, and I liked it.
I enjoyed the movie. I did.
Yeah.
Mary J. Blige is, and dude, Mary J. Blige is a talented. Like, she deserved a Grammy. Yes, she deserves that. You know?
Yeah, she did a good job.
She did a decent. No, she didn't. No, she didn't. No, I'm not even gonna go that far.
No.
I
mean, I don't think it's Oscar worthy, but
it's not Oscar. She sat on a fucking stagecoach and stared at people. That's all she did. And then she sat in a living room and stared at people. and delivered fucking like cold, uninflected, like unemotional lines.
I'm gonna look up a picture of her in this movie because
you should, dude. No, that performance.
I just want to make sure that I want to recall her role.
I'm just saying, if Mary J. Blige wins for that performance, then it's a total. That's a total bullshit political Oscar move. Like, that's total pandering. It's pandering.
No, I agree.
It's going to be pandering to social justice shit if she wins.
I think
she doesn't even deserve the nomination. She did a great job in that role, but her performance was by no means Oscar worthy. I felt
that's what I'm saying too. I don't think she
nothing from her character.
I don't even think. Yeah, I'm with you. I don't think
it's so many other people in that
movie.
Not a
worthy nomination.
Yeah, no, and it was a good movie, and there were so many other performances in that movie that elicited an emotional response from me.
Yeah,
her performance, not at all. No, it's a great movie, and and she plays a great character, and she plays that character well, but she does not play it Oscar level well.
I am with you.
Yeah,
for sure.
So of all the supporting actors, like if.
And this is tough for me because I don't even.
All of them deserve it except for Mary J. Blige. And I'm sorry, Mary J. Blige. I'm sure you care about my opinion. I'm sure you're going to lose sleep over it. But, yeah, you don't deserve it. You don't deserve it. Mary J. Blige was like SJW grandfathered in. That's the only reason.
Oh, it has to be because it wasn't that big of a role. I mean, I don't know. Part of me is wondering if I'm remembering.
It wasn't even that big of a character in the movie. Exactly. Her role in the movie, she had like fucking 15 minutes of screen time in an hour and 50-minute movie. She had fucking 15 minutes of screen time. How can you even say that's a supporting actress?
That's what I'm wondering.
You can't.
Yeah.
Everything about that. Like, it's her nomination. And again, she's a great artist. She's a great musician. Does not deserve this.
Yeah.
Does not deserve this at all.
I'm with you. I'm just very conflicted because Allison Janney and Laurie Metcalf were both, they had very similar characters in each movie too. Like the Lady Bird mom was way better, obviously, but like, they were both these overbearing, semi-abusive mothers, or at least in I, Tonya, she was abusive.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a tough one. Here's what I don't know if now's the time to go into it, but I'm going to because this is the last thing that I, Tonya is up for, so I won't get a chance to talk about it. But I, Tonya was great, but they did this like faux documentary thing where they were like pretending. They obviously took archival footage of interviews with the real people and tried to recreate it for this movie.
Okay. So
to that effect, they did that with like Allison Janney and stuff, and some of it came off, it was like a little tacky or a little cheesy. Yeah, because they'd put these one-liners in there. So it's like they'd cut to an interview after showing narrative stuff. They'd cut to an interview and have like this quippy one-liner. And it was like, in my opinion, it was like a total disservice to the movie. It's something that I think people do a lot where it's like, it's like we don't need snarky comic relief every 2 fucking seconds. Like, it's like, just tell the story.
Yeah, I can see that, but you gotta you have to make it dramatic. You have to make it interesting, right? I mean,
but they were.
I see why
it was dramatic without it.
Well, the story alone, you didn't need that. Yeah.
There's reasons they did it. And part of that's to catch the feel of like we're back in the 90s again and whatever. I get that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see. I'd be interested to see who wins this.
I'm very interested to see who wins these, especially that category.
Yeah.
I think best actress, or best supporting actress is, weirdly enough, that's the one I'm most interested in.
I am too, man. That's crazy.
It's the most good, like, because I think it's going to show the sort of zeitgeist, right?
Exactly.
It's going to show, who wins best supporting actress will sort of elucidate the integrity of the Oscars.
Yeah.
And if you give it, depending on who they give it to, it's gonna say a lot, right?
I almost want them to give it to Mary J. Blige just to have a reaction, video with you.
No, you don't, dude. Because we'll have a whole episode. We'll have an entire hour. No, you don't. We won't even have an episode. There won't even be a podcast. It won't even be a whole like structured episode. It'll be an hour of me just rambling and cussing and and just being mad.
Fair point.
I mean, so maybe we'll do a bonus. If Mary J. Blige wins Best Supporting Actress, we will do a bonus episode of Deviant Podcast.
Yeah.
You don't even have to tune in, Mancini. It might just be me on Zoom, just for an hour. I'm gonna need you there for buffer, but
I mean, I want to be there to
to hear it and
to
see
witness it. Yeah.
If Mary J. Blige wins, so we're not sure if we're gonna do an episode, an Oscars part 2. I kind of want to. We're not sure if we're gonna do it, but if Mary J. Blige wins Best Supporting Actress,
then we are. Let's say that now.
We are definitely doing it. I promise.
Absolutely.
I
actually think there's no point in doing one unless some whack people win. You know what I mean? Like Mary J. Blige. Like
if Get Out wins Best Picture, we're doing an episode.
Okay, let's set these parameters because this is good. Yeah.
Okay.
If Get Out wins and if Mary J. Blige wins,
we're doing an episode too.
Okay, yeah. I like it.
Definitely.
You heard it here first.
The 4 people that are listening right now.
So I want
all you deviants, all of you,
all deviants,
all 10 million of you motherfuckers.
Don't sell them short.
So let's move on to what do we got next? Best screenplay.
Well, here's the thing. I want to add another category, directing, and we can make it short. I just want to see what you think.
Oh wait! Best directing. Okay, yeah. So let's do best.
We'll do screenplay last.
Let's do best directing and best screenplay last. Okay. Yeah. Best directing. Who's up for best directing?
We have Dunkirk, Get Out, Lady Bird, Phantom Thread, and The Shape of Water. I would like to know what you think. I really wish I had seen Dunkirk, man.
That's a hard one, man. I think I love Christopher Nolan. I do.
Mm-hmm.
I wish he would get back to doing more like original projects, like he used to do. I wish he would get back to like Memento days.
Yeah, I hear you.
I feel like he was much better then. I definitely feel like he directed the best Batman trilogy, like for sure. The third one sucked, but oh man, I mean, war movies are always big.
Yeah, true.
Best directing. Okay, it was Dunkirk. Let me hear that list one more time.
Dunkirk, Get Out, Lady Bird, which is Greta Gerwig's first directorial debut. Phantom Thread and Shape of Water.
So I think it's going to be Guillermo del Toro. Again, he's a master, man. He's a master of craft. Even if the movie falls apart, even if the storyline sort of is forced or whatever, no matter the subject matter, Guillermo del Toro kills it. Mm-hmm. Always. He always kills it. Same thing with Paul Thomas Anderson.
Yeah. Those are two heavy hitters.
So I think Shape of Water and Phantom Thread are 2 heavy hitters, and they should be.
Yeah, I think you're right.
For best directing, I mean, I got to go with those two, man. You know, I mean, I think Lady Bird. I've been dying to. I haven't seen Lady Bird, and that's the thing. I haven't seen Lady Bird, and I really wanted to before we did this, and I haven't seen it. So, but I think Lady Bird should probably be a contender in that category too.
I think so.
I think Lady Bird, from everything I've read numerous reviews, dude. I've read so many reviews, and I've listened to her. I've listened to Greta Gerwig on interviews. I've listened to her on Wait, Don't Tell Me.
She's fucking great, man. I really
great.
like her.
Yeah, exactly. And she's amazing, and I love her to death. And so I think she should be content. I think that it's those three. It's Lady Bird, Shape of Water, and the fuck was the third one I said?
Phantom Thread.
And Phantom Thread. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
I think you're right.
You can't fuck with Paul Thomas Anderson. You can't.
That's the thing. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, you can't fuck with that dude, man. You can't.
Those two I think are going to be one of those two are going to be it. I'm rooting for Lady Bird because it's an underdog, because it's her first one.
Yeah, yeah.
But I'm trying to take a page out of what you were talking about earlier and consider, like, is it really an Oscar-worthy directorial debut? It's an impressive one. Oscar-worthy? I don't know.
Yeah, and I don't know either. I mean, again, because there's so much politics in this year's Oscars. There's so much politics, man. A lot of the nominees are only. I feel like a lot of the nominations are only nominations because it's in response to the hashtag Oscars So White movement from last year. Let's move on to best original screenplay. So
yeah, let's do
best directing. Like those are my three. We're kind of in agreement with that.
Yeah, it's a gimme almost.
I think maybe Get Out maybe in best directing, maybe.
Yeah,
but I'm still I just don't see. I love Jordan Peele, man. I love that, and I did enjoy that. I enjoyed the movie a lot.
Me too.
And I love the dude. I think he's super fucking talented. He's super creative. There's really not a bad thing you can say about that guy in terms of creativity and writing chops and and even directing his first feature film. There's there's no bad things you can say about that dude. But best director, best film, maybe he deserves the category we're about to go into. Maybe he deserves best screenplay. That's where I'm going with. So all right, nominated for best screenplay.
My last point I want to make is that I liked Lady Bird more than Get Out, but I think maybe Get Out was a better directing, a better display of directing than Lady Bird. So,
you think so? Yeah.
I think so. It's
okay.
It was more dynamic of a movie. And of course, they were different movies. So
they were very different. Oh no! Yeah. And Jordan Peele again, like he had great shots, man. I mean, he did have great. There were great moments, like in terms of like cinematography and there were great moments in that movie for sure.
Yeah. I just happen to like Lady Bird more, which is why I immediately. Yeah. This is just how I am. I'm a very subjective. Chooser. So let's go into original screenplay. This is interesting because we have The Big Sick.
Okay.
We have Get Out, Lady Bird, The Shape of Water, and 3 Billboards.
Oh man, that is tough, dude.
So it's tough because I happen to see The Big Sick. So there's another one on my list.
I've seen most of those.
Yeah.
In that category. So here's the one category that I think Get Out actually deserves for best original screenplay.
I think I'm with you, man.
Jordan Peele pulled a lot of, he had some Twilight Zone influences. He pulled in from Twilight Zone. He pulled in from like horror movie tropes. He pulled in from comedy, and he had like a social. And like the social zeitgeist and what's actually going on. So this is the one category I think Get Out deserves to win. Is best original.
I think I'm with you.
I Three Billboards did the same, was trying to tackle the same issues, was trying to address the same things, but in a different way, in a really satirical, sarcastic, I don't give a fuck, like Mark McDonald, and I mean, it seems like he's really a really big like nihilist kind of guy. So Three Billboards was trying to say like, oh fuck, none of this, he was really trying to say this, all of this is stupid. Jordan Peele was trying to say all of this matters,
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I like the all this is stupid message. I'm pretty partial to that.
And I do too. I love Three Billboards. Three Billboards outside of Ebbing, Missouri, for sure. I think this is the one category. I think Jordan Peele deserves this one. I think he deserves best original screenplay. I think it was very thoughtful. It was very creative. Yeah. It was a really ingenuity, just not ingenious, but just a unique way to tackle what's going on in contemporary society. So yeah, I think this is where Get Out should shine. It does not deserve Best Picture, does not deserve Best Director or Best Actor or Best Actress. None of that shit. It does deserve Best Original Screenplay. I think it's a very original take on things. So
that's my whole issue. So I'm an idea guy first and foremost, and this is why I probably have a hard time with the Oscars, because all these fucking categories. And if I didn't like the movie, then why would I consider Best Actor for a movie I didn't like, and all those kinds of variables.
Yeah.
As an idea guy,
the Oscars sort of it forces you to break down. Like
exactly,
if you hated the movie, they're saying like, oh, but look at the one performance.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
And that's tough for me sometimes. Yeah.
If you hate the movie, it's hard to isolate the performance. Yeah.
But I'm a huge proponent of blending genres. I'm a huge proponent of that we need a third party in politics, and along those lines, we need a third party. We need alternate categories in movies. And the reason I liked Get Out is because when I went there, I knew I was in for a mix of genres I liked. I knew it was going to be funny, and I knew it was going to be a bit of a thriller psychologically and action wise. So it blended all these things. And I think we need more of that. 100%. I think more people should be doing what he did with this movie. And blending things and coming up with
and that's why I think he deserves
exactly
screenplay. Because it was very creative. It was
exactly
very creative.
So I think I'm with you. And I loved Lady Bird again. I don't know, that's tough for me, man. It's I really did like that movie. I just think this was more unique, I guess. I think Get Out was in the end more unique.
It was more unique and topical, I think that's part of it too. Lady Bird was very unique storytelling for sure, and very well written, but Get Out did all of that and then more in terms of the screenplay,
I mean, if I had to choose the whole package, I'd choose Lady Bird, just because I like her more. I like her storytelling.
And she's white. Come on.
And she's white, and I'm very sympathetic to my people. But I want more people doing what Jordan Peele did with Get Out. I want to go to the theater, and I want more options to see crazy blends of genres and new ideas that 10 years ago people would have been like, fuck no. I want that. So
yeah, and I think the thing with Get Out is it's the best, it's original, it's creative. What I don't like about Get Out is that I don't think Get Out is going to stand the test.
Go ahead.
Let's talk about it briefly, very briefly, and then move on, because this is supposed to be an Oscars episode. The only thing I don't like about Get Out is I don't think it's going to stand the test of time. I think it's very topical. It's very in the moment, relevant, and it's very and it has currency now.
Mm-hmm.
right? And Jordan Peele did a great job of nailing that shit right now. But it's not going to be it's not going to be a Citizen Kane. It's not going to be it's not going to be a movie that like 30, 40 years from now you watch and it still has the same relevancy.
How many of these will be though? That's my question.
It's too topical.
Yeah.
Right? It's too topical.
Right.
And that's a plus and a minus for the film. It's topical and that's also negative. It's too topical. It's not going to last, man. It's a great film, and for right now. 10 years from now, not so much.
But I like my whole thing is the approach. His approach is how we get timeless movies. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm excited for. Is this the approach of like blending things and trying new things? Because I know when the movie first came out, I was like, finally, something that like you can't just put into one category. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think his approach will not from him necessarily, but will eventually lead to a timeless movie and has in the past. Whereas a lot of other nominations, I don't know if they're timeless. And I don't think very many winners in the past several years have been timeless. I think they are what is a great movie TM. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and that's kind of why the Oscars bother me sometimes.
So yeah, I mean, let's move on from the specific to the general, right? From Get Out just into the Oscars themselves.
I think that I've said this before, but let's do it on air. I liked Get Out. I know you liked it too, but I think that approach is the way to timeless original cinema. I'm not saying that this deserves Best Picture. I'm just saying this approach I think is the way to go, and I want to see more of it. Do you think this has a place in the Academy Awards?
I disagree.
You don't think it has a place for Best Picture?
No.
Do you think it has a place at all?
I think it has a place for Best Original Screenplay.
Yeah, true. Okay.
But not for Best Picture. Right? And I think I think a lot of the nominations this year are a direct response to that trending hashtag, like hashtag Oscars so white, and everyone being mad about the Oscars last year. You know, I think this year it's the Oscars trying to like sort of trying to save face. It's the Oscars saying like, hey, look, we're not racist. Hey, look, we're not.
Yeah.
Hey, look, we respect diversity. Hey, look at who and they nominated a bunch of films this year that really don't deserve to be. Again, Get Out deserves Best Original Screenplay, but not Best Picture, right? But the Oscars wanted to just sort of. I think they're trying to save face. I think there's a lot of politics going around, and this is nothing new for the Oscars. I mean, this is like politics in the Oscars is not a new thing. You look at Orson Welles, like way back in the day, way back in the 40s and 50s. You look at Orson Welles in the Oscar. You look at Citizen Kane being denied so many nominations, being denied Best Picture stuff. Because Orson Welles pissed off, a prominent and very powerful person with that film, he was denied. And he was denied, Best Picture. Like everyone thought Citizen Kane was going to sweep the Oscars that year. It was a foregone conclusion Citizen Kane was going to sweep the Oscars that year. Didn't happen because Orson Welles pissed off, took on the wrong guy, took on the wrong establishment. And I feel like the Oscars this year it's the sort of inverse of that. It's not that the Oscars, it's not that they're trying to They don't want to. It's not that they want to piss off that wrong guy. They want to not anger the wrong guy. And the wrong guy isn't one person. The wrong guy is this fucking nebulous social media shame, hate, race, sort of thing. And I feel like that fueled a lot of nominations for this year's Oscars. But again, I don't think that's not a new thing. It's definitely it's not a new thing.
And that's true. And that's something we should talk a little bit more about. But that's interesting. So you don't think that, I guess for me, it's an assumption just, that I naturally have that the Oscars themselves are going to be a spectacle of, of social justice and of not even social justice, because it's all, in my opinion, such a facade, but it's going to be a spectacle of virtue signaling. Like, look how much we care. It's going to be a whole charade. But you think the actual nominations themselves are part of the charade?
Oh, absolutely, 100%.
Yeah,
100%. That is my position.
With Get Out and with Mary J. Blige and what else? What else?
It's 100% empty. It's 100% empty nomination. It's 100% empty virtue signaling. It's 100% trying to save face. It's 100% the Oscars trying to save face, and in the wake of the hashtag Oscar so white from last year. And there's a lot of there are some people that deserve the recognition, like Jordan Peele's. Get Out deserves something, but it doesn't deserve like the amount of attention that it's getting. I don't think it does.
Yeah.
I don't think that film, if you look at that movie in isolation, you don't factor in who the director is, don't factor the climate that we're living in right now. If you look at that movie and you ask yourself, is this a timeless piece of art? I don't think so.
So it's interesting you say that. I went into tonight thinking, like, other than Lady Bird, that I was totally in for Get Out. Like, it was unique and I thought it deserved a place. We've talked more, and I guess now first I have a question. Are comedic thrillers?
Now I'm confused. Now I'm just confused. Joe.
Are comedic thrillers do they ever have a place in the Oscars?
Of course.
Do they? Okay.
I think.
I guess I can't think of one.
If they're, I can't think of one. But if they're done well, and again, I think Get Out should win Best Original Screenplay. I'm not saying it doesn't deserve.
Yeah. Right.
Anything. I'm saying it deserves Best Original Screenplay.
I would agree. It's just, is this the first? I can't remember seeing a comedy, I guess. I don't know. Everything has comedic aspects to it, but I would say this was first and foremost a comedy. Get Out. Am I wrong?
Well, it depends on who you ask. I don't know. It depends on who you ask, man. Yeah. I would say it was satire. It was social commentary and it was satire. And that's not necessarily comedy.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, even if you ask Jordan Peele, he doesn't have a direct answer.
Yeah.
For that question, he's not going to call it a comedy either.
No, certainly not. They wanted to be a bigger thing than it. Then I'm starting to think it's not as big of a thing as we are all trying to make it. It's a comedic thriller to me. I don't know. Maybe it's a serious social statement, though. I guess I'm losing that distinction.
Yeah, no, it's look, it's a timely film. It's a
right,
but I don't know if it's a timeless film.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's where I have that's where I'm like, maybe it doesn't deserve, all the recognition that everyone else on the Twitter sphere and the social media sphere thinks it. You look at that, you look at Twitter sphere, social media sphere, and everyone's like, "Oh, Get Out should win Get Out should be president. You know
Right,
what I mean? Like
right.
that's like they're like
Yeah.
and that like Jordan Peele should be the fucking next president of the United States. Like that's how they feel about it. They feel that strongly about it.
Yeah. Shit, don't remind me. Fuck. It's like I don't factor that in when I think about this stuff, but you're right. That is how it gets out there.
Yeah, they're very
In the
strong.
wild.
Yeah, and you have to ask yourself why, and you have to question that. I think you should question that. And again, I think it deserves best original screenplay. I think we should look at it for what it is. And I think it does a disservice to Jordan Peele to make it. Look, he didn't write Citizen Kane. He didn't write fucking Les Miserables. You know, it's not that kind of movie. It's not that kind of art. It deserves best original screenplay. He doesn't deserve best director.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't that good. Like, let's not make this. I think making it more, giving it the highest, like, giving it the highest award in the land just because of some sort of like social obligation, you know, some sort of weird reparation sort of mindset sort of fucking thing is a disservice to him, man. No. He did a great job. That movie is really, and it deserves best original screenplay. That's it. I don't know how else to say it.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
We can, but let's move on from that to the larger.
Let's move on. Let's move on from that. Yeah.
The larger circle jerk of the Academy Awards.
Yeah.
Because you touched on this before, and that in the past, it's that this is nothing new. It's always been politicized.
Yeah.
I don't know. Where do we start? Why? I guess for me, when did it become from like who made the best movie, who did the best job to this other thing, and why? I mean, that's a very broad question, but
oh yeah, I have no idea when to pinpoint the exact moment that this happened.
Well, neither of us know.
Yeah, but it's always been political, man. It's always been political, and
and with social media, it's like now it's just teed up for just a fucking field day, you know, for every year to be this gifable, you know, a gifable Oscars.
Gifable, like, I love it. Gifable.
But it's true. It's like, and I mean, now it's very politicized, but if you think back to 2012, I remember in 2012, the next day, it wasn't so much about politics as it was about like, you know, look at Jennifer Lawrence's like reaction and look at her tripping on the way up or whatever, you know, remember all that shit?
Yeah.
And it wasn't so much politics as it was like that snarky Gawker kind of humor.
It wasn't politics. It was bullshit drama. It was like, let's care about these. So yeah, that's the thing. Like the Oscars have always been, there's been some sort of politics going on.
Exactly. No, there's
been some sort of fashion and drama. And look, the Oscars is such, here's the thing. Like we should never use, in my opinion, we should never use the Oscars as a barometer for anything. Barometer for how we're doing as a society, a barometer for how we're doing as whatever, because it gives the Oscars more credit than it deserves. Like the Oscars are a bunch of fucking Hollywood elites patting themselves on the back for doing a good job. Like, why are we using this micro event as a macro representation for society as a whole?
That's the best question. Yeah, exactly.
Right? Like that's, and it's the most infuriating question to me.
Exactly. Because we're all getting, you know, seeing the after Oscars boner that everyone pops. That's like similar to the whole, you know, similar to the Oprah Winfrey should be president type shit.
Oh,
it's like the next day we get the whole, you know, the whole litany, the whole, like, I don't know. That's the most nauseating.
Why are we doing this? Why are we paying attention? Like that's the more important question for me. Why do we even give a fuck about this?
Right.
And why are we? And again, why are we using this as a sort of litmus test or a barometer for our society to gauge how progressive or woke or tolerant or whatever the fuck term you want to use? Why are we using the Oscars as a barometer for society as a whole? That's fucking stupid.
I don't know, but it serves a lot of people.
That really kind of like negates everything we just said, and I'm totally fine with that. I'm totally fine with saying, look, like, fuck the Oscars. It's fucking stupid. And if you use which movies are nominated, which actors are nominated, which ethnic group is getting representation at the Oscars, blah 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 blah. If you use any of that as a barometer for the healthiness of society, for like the health, does society have a cancer? Are we whatever? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, how are we doing? What's our condition?
If you use any of it for like if you use any of that shit for like, in terms of a sort of like a society goes in for a physical and it comes back, and you use the Oscars as an example,
right?
Fuck you.
I agree.
Like, you should be shot. Like, you're an idiot. You are a fucking idiot. Period.
I agree, but that doesn't mean we can't. I mean,
so why?
What we talked about was legitimate. Like, these movies were made regardless. Well, I think so. I think we were pretty consistent. I think talking about, like, for me, like I said, I think Get Out stood for something in its own way that doesn't belong in the Oscars. Like, the originality. Like, there's no thing, there's no category in the Academy Awards for, like, best original concept, because everything's always the fucking same. You know what I mean? And if there is, then I think Get Out should be in there.
Yeah.
And I guess my point is, like, the Oscars there's no category in the Oscars that represents what some of us actually care about when we think about cinema. I don't know.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. I guess I'm just saying, like, if with our hyper focus on the Oscars, here's the question I'm going to pose.
Yeah.
To our deviant listeners, and here's a question I really want a response to. Not just the Oscars, but just this, like, is our attention to the Oscars and this award ceremony culture, like, is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? I mean, could we do better? Like, could it? I feel like it's hurting us. I just feel like the whole thing's hurting art.
I agree.
I feel like it's hurting art. I feel like it's hurting film. I feel like it's not helping anything. I feel like it's not helping even the SJW. Even the social justice warrior cause of trying to move forward representation. I feel like all of, like, the Oscars, like, the award ceremony, is hurting all of that shit.
I agree.
So I guess I would just pose to my listeners, like, do you agree with me? Do you not? Do you disagree with me?
And, but it's so good for advertisers.
What else could we do? Is there an alternative? Is there an alternative? I would love to hear an alternative.
That's a good question. It's hard to think there's a viable alternative. This is like this type of shit, this social media friendly, gifable, shareable type shit is so good for advertisers, and then it's sad because that drives more films. It's like, oh man, like, we had such a great Oscars season, we can totally, like, more investors are going to fund more films, and those films end up being more Oscar worthy, quote, very important movies, and the fucking circle jerk repeats itself. Yeah I don't know, could we do better? Yes, but in this society, that's tough. But I'd definitely like to hear what people think.
I think that's the question. Could we do better? Question mark. And how?
Mm-hmm.
And if you have any ideas of how, then yeah, let's hear them. Right?
Yeah. My other question is just a part B to yours, I think. Are we just being dicks? Is this really a circle jerk? Or is it weird that we hate the Oscars so much? Because I always have. I'm not just bullshitting. I never
I've
keep
always
up on this
hated
shit.
it. I go to Oscar parties, and I'm still going to go to one this year. Still going to do it. I'm still going to participate in it. Just like the Super Bowl. I fucking hate the Super Bowl, but I watch it every year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah, let us know.
Yeah, for sure.
Everyone's gonna watch the Oscars. We're gonna watch the Oscars. We're gonna watch. We're still everyone. Even if we have our grievances, even if we hate this shit, we're still participatory in it.
Yeah.
Right. We're still participating in it.
Although I don't have cable. I don't know how.
What can we do? Can we do anything? What can we do to change this? I don't know.
Yeah. And if people have thoughts on different movies, I'd like to hear. We'll address them before the next episode briefly. We'll have a little chat about like, hey, this person wrote in about our, what we talked about, and we'll bullshit about it for a few seconds.
Oh yeah, I'd love to hear your. I would love to hear the thoughts and opinions on our thoughts and opinions on the movie.
Exactly.
The nominees, the prospective nominees, whatever else. Yeah.
Yeah.
Weigh in, email us. Like again, like you always do a long form. If you want to email, that's fine. You can DM us on Twitter.
Yeah.
You can hit us up on Facebook too. Like whatever. Like we're on every platform possible.
Particularly if you have I'd love to hear what someone has to say about Call Me by Your Name. I saw it. I liked it. I just don't know what to say about it. I love to hear someone else's perspective. It's like, I don't know, the very unique movie. A lot of these were unique, and I don't really know what to think about them.
All right, so Joe Mancini is putting out a wide swath kind of call, a wide net call.
If you're gay and you watched Call Me by Your Name, please let me know what you saw.
Explain Call Me by Your Name to Joe Mancini.
Please do.
He wants the movie. He wants it explained to him.
I do.
He wants
please mansplain it to me.
Gay-splain it to him.
Please gay-splain it to me.
Gay-splain.
By calling. Wait, no, don't call. By emailing.
Don't call him. Email us. Explain it to him. But we both want, and I want your opinion on 3 Billboards and Shape of Water and Get Out. If you disagree with, like, I made a lot of,
or Mary J. Blige. Oh my God.
Or
please,
even
if you disagree,
if you disagree with me about Mary J. Blige and Mudbound, like
please,
call me out. Let's do it. Let's do it. I would.
You can come on the show if you think she deserves that. You can come on the show. I'm saying it now.
Yes. If you think Mary J. Blige deserves the Best Supporting Actress Oscar for her performance in Mudbound, you can have an entire episode.
Yep. Next week you're on. Well, I don't know about
and I will listen to you, and I will not argue with you. Again, like, that's not what we do here. I'm not going to fucking Bill O'Reilly you. I want to hear from you. Please defend that performance. Tell me why it deserved it.
Yeah.
And I'll listen. I will listen. If you can defend it, I'll listen.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
You can answer any of these questions by Facebooking us, DMing us, emailing us at deviantpodcast1@gmail.com. What else? What am I missing?
Yeah. So deviantpodcast1@gmail.com. We're on Twitter at Podcast Deviant. We have a WordPress site, deviantpodcast.wordpress.com. We're on Podbean too, if you want to go that route. Just try to look us up there. Please go on iTunes to look us up, though. But yeah, we want to hear from you. Look forward to it. We're gonna do it. We're probably gonna do an Oscar part 2 once the results are all in. I feel like we're definitely gonna have
at least a segment.
We'll have a reaction.
It deserves
maybe
a segment.
Half an hour. Yeah, maybe not a whole episode. But again, Deviant's the most important part is please get involved. Please become a community. It's not even about this episode. It's about future episodes. You can pitch an episode. You can pitch a topic. You can pitch a topic, and if you want to lead the discussion, we're fine with that.
Mm-hmm.
You can take control of the episode, and we'll listen to you, and we'll countenance and have the rational discussion. We just want to build the community. So we really mainly most important thing is we want to hear from you. We want to build this community. We want to hear from the deviants because we know you're out there.
Exactly.
You're out there right now.
Stop being fucking cowards. Jesus.
Don't be cowards. Yeah. You're out there doing
God.
deviant shit right now.
I know.
Right now. Maybe you're listening to us and just doing weird deviant shit. Like, it's in your head. It's happening. We know you're doing it.
We want to know what color socks you jerk off into. Are they tube socks? Are they short socks? Are they black?
And why? And we want to know why. Like, why red? If it's only red, I can only jerk off into red socks. I gotta wear a red sock on my right foot. And
are you a bull?
On my left foot. And
does
that's
it make you angry?
Maybe it's an America thing. Red, white, and blue.
Yeah, it could be.
I got the white out.
Yeah.
Red and blue sock. Got the white on. We don't know. And we don't care. We don't fucking judge. That's the whole point of this podcast. We don't fucking judge. So please contact us. So the short version of that.
Yeah. We're going to do a hard wrap up after this. This is a thank you bye moment.
Yeah. Short version is please contact us. We love you, listeners. We appreciate you. If please give us again, rate us on iTunes, subscribe on YouTube, whatever. Like, please support us. We'll support you, and we just want to build the community. I think that's the main thing. Is we want to support you guys. We want you guys to support us, and we want to have a big community.
Absolutely.
So that's our Oscar episode. That's episode 5. Mancini's lucky number.
Yeah. Enjoy the Oscars, everybody. I'm sure we won't, but we'll watch them.
Hopefully you won't either, and we'll see you. We'll have a response to the awards. So enjoy your week, enjoy the Oscars, and we'll see you soon.
Good night.
Good night.